Alright guys, welcome to another vlog. It's another shitty day in Queensland. It's raining and the weather's not ideal. Two kiddos with me. Going to get some... What are we getting for lunch, guys?
Sushi!
Yeah? We'll get sushi. Alright, so we're heading to get some sushi. Prawn tail.
Yummy tail. I ate it.
Finished? Finished? You finished? Full? Full?
Bye-bye.
Alright, we are back home now, and I kind of wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what I'm going to do with this S13 convertible, because there's just some things I want to redo before Summer Nats comes around. Ideally, I'd like to have this beams done for another event I'm doing at the end of November. Otherwise, I'll just take over the V35 or the 350Z. But it's really in the S13 convertible where we're going to be doing some drastic changes in the near future. So I'll sort of walk you through some of the ideas we've got in mind. Obviously, we have crazy big wheels now. So I'm definitely going to need to get some more of these, like Neg 20. These are a Neg 2011, I believe, or a Neg 2010. So I need to get more, a couple, maybe another 4 Neg 20-ish sort of wheels. Some nice big dishy boys, hopefully. Whether I have to get some custom made or I can find some, we'll see what happens on that front. But means I'm going to have to go new wide body, so I'm probably going to go with a 75mm Origin wide body now. I didn't really want to go with like a flare style, but that seems to be the most practical and easy to get at the moment. So that will probably be the plan there as far as wide body goes. I'll get that in. I'm going away from the drag wing, so I've actually already sold the boot that was on here and the drag wing that's going down to Victoria. I'm still going to rock the D-Max kit. I do like the D-Max body kit. I was considering going to BN, but yeah, I am going to stick with it for now. And then what the big difference is, I'm going to reconfigure all of my rear end as far as the way that where the radiator sits and all that sort of stuff. So my plan is, at this stage, I'm going to be moving the radiator into a more traditional spot in the rear of the car, and then my idea is to move all the fuel system up into behind this firewall, and we're going to extend the firewall up further as well, obviously to keep me safe. And then my electronic power steering, yes, I don't have my cast on because it's annoying me. I'm just having a day with it, just sort of chill, and I'm not doing any work. But we're going to move the electric power steering into the front of the car behind that kick panel. So on top of doing all this stuff, we're also going to rewire the interior of the car because it is a mess. So there'll be a lot of... it's going to be a big build. It's going to be a big process to do it all. But we're going to go through it all and get it all done to the best of our ability anyway. And then the other thing I was looking to do was going GTR rear instead of 350Z rear. Look, main reason being I haven't had huge success with the 350Z stuff, but I don't think I'll have huge success with any rear end with this much power, unless I go and do things like get dry shaft shop axles and stuff, which again might be an idea in the future. However, my issue with the 350Z setup is you have to go wide, and that's my unreliability with the 350Z rear was become from me not wanting to make the car wider at the rear. Where now, yeah, I'm going bigger wheels and I'm going wider, but I don't want the track of the suspension. I don't want the suspension arms extended all the way out and all that sort of stuff. So that's a situation I'm trying to avoid, and that's the reason I'm going to go back to a GTR setup. GTR setup's definitely a lot more expensive than a 350Z setup, but I believe it's just going to be better for my situation overall. And a question I've got for you guys now though is, I'm not 100% sure, but I think I want to change the color of the paint on the interior. So I've always been really, I've really enjoyed metallic silver interiors, but it's different because this is obviously convertible. So, you know, my roll cage is fully exposed, and it does look pretty sweet with the contrast of the blue, but it's a very, very, like, there's some parts where the paint's coming off, or lots of parts where the paint's coming off. So yeah, and there was other things, obviously, with us changing where things are going to sit and then redoing the rear. I'd love to take that opportunity while there's no wiring, there's no seats, everything's out of the car, to repaint everything that hasn't been painted in the past. So I don't know, so there's stuff like here on the floor where we ended up taking the rail out of the floor so it's not painted, and just little I guess imperfections, if you will, that we sort of need to tend to. But yeah, it's just sort of a plan of things to come. I even considered taking the turbo off, and I don't know why I thought that. It seemed like a good idea, but then realizing that my engine issues seem to be all gone now. I do still have some temperature issues, but I'm literally running an eBay radiator. I do have a PWR setup sitting there ready to go, and I know that power crew's just gone. We did take a hose off briefly and put a hose back on between events and never re-bled it. So I feel like that issue is literally just related to me not bleeding, or not having the system re-bled up, and causing that issue, which I hope anyway. I know that the head gasket, everything's fine on the car as far as the engine goes. So I do just want to reconfigure the radiator setup, get the PWR setup in there, move a few things around. One of the other issues I was having is the power steering not working 100%, and I feel like this, being in the back of the car and having such a long run to the front of the car as well, could be some of my issue. So I'm going to move that into that passenger footwell behind that kick panel there. I'll move that kick panel forward and create a bracket and stuff where we'll be able to put that power steering reservoir and hopefully get rid of that issue, because it will be obviously very short run that the oil will need to travel. And then on top of that, that's a lot more out of the heat down there versus the amount of heat. Like, the back of this car used to get insanely hot from the air that was coming off the radiator and essentially cooking everything in the boot. So that is the plan for the future. We'll get the car down to Black Arts, I guess. I'll start pulling this all apart in the near future to sort of dummy fit things and work out where I need to go, whether I need to end up going with a different fuel tank altogether, which it's looking like. But no, it's going to be fun to get it all done, and we have to get it all done for Summernats. So got a decent amount of time. I guess it'll give us 2 months to do it all. So yeah, 2 months to fully redo the interior, do a bit of painting and a little bit of fab. I think it's manageable and doesn't have to cost a fortune. I think it should be able to be done at a reasonable price. And like I said, cosmetics wise as well, obviously I've sold off that boot, so we're going to go with a Supermade style wing on the back of this car now. And because I'm changing the radiator setup, I'm not going to go with holes in the boot. I never really like the holes in the boot thing. I want the car to look cleaner. So I am just going to go with a regular boot with no holes in it, and a Supermade style wing, so the flat style little, just a little subtle wing on there, and then possibly have a second boot with a big boy, you know, over roof height, if I can find a wide enough spoiler to have just one for something different every now and then. But otherwise, that's the plan for the S13. I think it's all going to happen. Ideally before Summernats, I'll get a chance to Also paint up all my bar work in the front of the car as well, because that has needed to be done forever. But I sort of thought at some point I'll have the engine out and I'll be able to do that. But yeah, the engine has been really good. It's definitely copped a hiding so far. For those of you that don't know the setup, it is a LS2 standard bottom end out of a VE Commodore, and it went to Mitch, who has the crazy Hilux. There's a video I'll link in the description down below of going for a ride in that wild Hilux. But he knows his LS stuff. He put a cam in it to suit the turbo, springs, head studs, something LS7, a few other little goodies in there, but it is essentially a stock motor. And you know, making, you know, the flywheel would be over 700 horsepower, so it's a very cool little car. And you know, it's only on 11 psi, so it's extremely reliable as it sits as well, as far as power wise. But again, one of my biggest issues with this car, I think, is gearing. Right now the 350Z rear that's in it is a 3.3, I believe 3.3 or 3.35 or something like that, so it's a very long ratio, but that's like perfect for the first 4 gears of the TR6060 gearbox, because 5th and 6th are like really far apart. So I don't know what to do there. I'd love to go for a 4-speed dog box, and that would be the ultimate goal, but basically comes down to if my wife lets me spend that much money. Babe, can I have a G-Force?
What's a G-Force?
Gearbox.
Is that the one from America?
Yeah.
I already told you could. That's why we're selling my drift car. So my drift car, so you can get a gearbox. Not fair, is it?
You can drive one of the V's or G's. Much more money on the car, you know, like all my other cars I pretty much could see a return on if I sold them, where this one is very much a money pit. I know it is, but it's sick. Like, you know, I'll never see the money back that I put in, but I've always wanted to dumb car, you know. Oh, that's a little bit about my dumb car. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was just to sort of catch you up, a little bit of information on what we intend to do with this car, and it is going to start happening very soon. Adam LZ's car comes back from the dyno on Monday. They haven't had a chance to get on the dyno yet. It's going on Monday. It just needed a new battery, but everything is looking really good with that car. And then depending how busy Monday and Tuesday are, if I can get the rear end put in that car and get it off to alignment before Tuesday night, we'll be able to test that car as well. So really looking forward to showing you guys that. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in tomorrow's vlog.